Oh, yeah. Is it Thursday already? Oh, we're back. Darth Vader is returning. Andor Season 2 is in 12 days. Star Wars Celebration is in 8 days. And Hondo Ohnaka will be back in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie? Possibly next to the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo? Yeah, that's right. We got a lot to get into and not a lot of time. So without further ado, please work. Please work. Without further ado, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Thursday afternoon? Oh, it is so good to see your pretty faces, chat. Oh my God, that was a disaster. But we're back. We are back, and it is a Thursday live stream, just like any other, just a couple minutes later than usual. So, oh, I hate it when that happens, chat. You have no idea how frustrating that is. But we are back, and we are good to go here. So, Darth Vader returning. We're going to talk about that. Andor Season 2 is in less than 2 weeks, and Star Wars Celebration is next weekend. We are pretty much 1 week away from Star Wars Celebration, where an insane amount of announcements are coming, so much so that they just announced 7 more Star Wars novels and comics before Star Wars Celebration. That's how much content is coming out at this weekend, from Mando trailer to God knows what else. But before we get into any of it, let's say hi to all you incredible people in the chat. All you people who returned after the first stream failed. God, that's so frustrating, but we're back. We're back. No, just, it's gone. It's gone. It's over. It's over. We back. We are back, chat. That's all that matters. So let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? Yeah. Yeah, Super Chats, memberships keep the lights on over here. I guess all the Super Chats and memberships stopped because the lights completely turned off. I was in a completely black room, and I couldn't see anything. It was scary. It was so scary. But let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? Sky Z. Oh, my God, it's been a while. How we doing? Sky Z, what's up? Mike, how we doing? Star Wars Jedi Podcast, how we doing? Matthew, what is up? Mike in the house. Freddie, how we doing? B-Man, what is up? John Groom, how we doing? Brandon Baker, what is up? C. Lee in the house. Chris, what's up? Inklet, oh yeah, Inklet, how we doing? Emperor Raccoonar, how we doing? Kid Fisto in the house. Ian, what is up? Super Ultra Instinct Rose Cody, King Cody, how we doing? I like to see a bunch of old familiar faces in the chat. I like this. I like the looks of this chat. Okay. If I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Let's give everybody a nice little,
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay. So we got so much to get into today that I really don't know where to start. So we can talk about Andor Season 2. We can talk about the Star Wars Celebration, the seven projects that were announced, the novels and comics that were announced, one Darth Vader project, which is crazy. We can talk about that. We can talk about Hondo Ohnaka in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and the fact that this could be the greatest thing to ever happen. But what do we want? What do we want to start with, chat? What do we want to start with? And by the way, all my freaking tabs are closed. Wait, they just released another Andor trailer right now? Is that why the first stream broke? Because they were like, Mike, wait a second. We're posting another trailer. We're going to break your stream so that you notice that this trailer exists. That might be it. So, no, chat, we don't have one Andor trailer to go over today. We have 2 Andor trailers to go over today. Dustin Kennedy? Holy crap. What's up with all the OGs in the chat today? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I swear McDonald's has to start sponsoring me. What the hell? Yeah. So, we have 2 Andor trailers to get to now. Interesting. I feel like we should start there then. I mean, Andor is the next show. It's in 12 days. Should we start with the Andor trailer that just dropped 2 seconds ago? Literally 13 minutes ago, right when the stream started. Should we start there? Should we start there? All right, play it. Okay. God. Calm down, chat. You guys act like I'm 10 minutes late or something. All right, let's watch this. This just came out right now. And actually, you know what? You guys can watch me work. I'm going to post it. I don't know how to do it on here, actually. So I lied. Let's just retweet it. Retweet with a quote. Another trailer. What a time to be a Star Wars fan. Another trailer. Post. A trailer a day keeps the haters away, chat. We are getting a trailer a day. But let's watch this one. I haven't seen it yet, so let's see if we got any new footage or something like that. Let's check it out. Is the volume on? I think so.
We're in war. Not everybody knows it yet, but it's coming. Your rebellion is struggling. Lack of trust. We need to come together. And if it goes up in flames, it will burn very brightly.
Okay, first of all, the soundtrack? That was spooky. But let's take a look at this because there's a bunch of new scenes in this trailer. Let's watch it again. Just run it back. Just run it back.
We're in war. Not everybody knows it yet, but it's coming. Your rebellion is struggling. Lack of trust. We need to come together. And if it goes up in flames, it will burn very brightly.
Okay. So first of all, the soundtrack. Oh, why did I go full screen here? First of all, the soundtrack is awesome, but we got a bunch of new scenes and new dialogue as well. Oh, huge shout out to Darth Plagueis Lives with a very generous $5 super chat. You didn't say anything though, buddy. Sorry. But I appreciate that nonetheless. Super chats, memberships keep the lights on over here, which we fail to do on a daily basis. Yeah. Okay. But it starts out with Cassian on Gorman. I think this is when he's looking at his blaster here.
We're in war.
And we're at war.
Not everybody.
We got a scared look on Mon Mothma's face, a scared look on Bix's face, a scared look on Luthen's face, and even Saw Gerrera gets in the mix. But not everybody knows that we're at war yet. And that's sort of the idea of Season 2, is making the whole galaxy know that we are at war. Will Darth Vader show up in Andor? I really don't know, Dustin. It could go either way. Tell me in the chat. Do you think Darth Vader will be in Andor Season 2? Tell me in the chat.
He knows it yet, but it's coming.
He says that not everybody knows we're going to be at war yet, and it cuts to Krennic. I mean, he doesn't really know, but... This TIE Avenger is going to see some things. This is the third separate planet we've seen it on. The farming planet with Bix and Brazos, the weird sort of cliff planet. We don't even know what that planet is, but there's cliffs and water and maybe possibly ice. We don't even know. And now this foresty planet, which, and we're going to get to it in just a sec here.
Your rebellion is struggling.
Is this Kenari? Kenari is the home planet of Cassian Andor. The whole first arc, episode 1, 2, and 3 of season 1, are all about Cassian looking for his sister. Is it possible, chat? Is it possible that this is Kenari? And if so, will we see his sister in season 2? Because in season 1, I believe Marva tells him to forget about his sister. Forget about it because they're all dead or something like that. Like she's like, just stop looking for her. But would Marva really know? Because Marva probably didn't go back to Kenari. And who was the Kenari girl that worked at the bar, let's call it, at the beginning of season 1? What do we think, chat? Do you think? Well, first of all, do you think that this is Kenari? Do you think this is Kenari right here? And that's where Cassian is. It certainly looks like it. We've only seen a few planets that look like this in Star Wars, first of all. I mean, you got Andor, of course, but that's the big redwoods. And then you've only seen, from what I can recall, one planet that has forests and trees like this in all of Andor Season 1. Interesting. I actually want to put up a poll in the chat. This trailer is awesome, first of all. Just dropped literally seconds ago, which is great. But let's pull this up. If you haven't smashed a freaking like on the stream, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Get on that. That's what that first poll says. But do you think Cassian will find his sister in season 2? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you think Cassian will find his sister? And do you think this is Kenari? Right here. Sure as hell looks like it. And to me, with a writer like Tony Gilroy, there's a reason he set up all that crazy stuff at the beginning of season 1 with him looking for his sister and then giving us the flashbacks to when he was a kid on Kenari, getting rescued by Marva, but also leaving his sister and all the other people who were still alive at the time there. This person's holding up a blaster to his head. All these people seem to be around the same age as Cassian, and when he left, all those people were kids, so they would have grown up by now. So it's pretty likely that the reason he survives this, because there's a blaster to his head, is because he knows these people. And they're like, oh my God, Casa? And he's like, yeah, it's me. What's up? How's it going? Looking for my sister. Don't want to cause any harm. And that's how the scene goes. Honestly, the sister seems so important now to the story. Like she has to have some sort of greater meaning. Like her identity almost seems important at this point. Some people, myself included, have talked about the crazy theory that his sister is Dedra. I know. Would be pretty wild. Probably unlikely. But it's a crazy theory nonetheless. If Dedra was revealed to be his sister, that would be mind freaking blowing. And then Dedra maybe turns to the rebellion, turns to the light side because she finds out that Cassian's her brother. I don't know. It would be crazy. I don't think it's going to happen. But I've heard crazier theories. Yeah. Bix is his sister? Oh my God, no. No. We're not going down that road again, chat. Star Wars already has one brother-sister combo that kiss in Empire Strikes Back, and it's weird, okay? It's weird. Let's just get it up. It's weird. Yeah, I'll say it. It's weird. It's been 40 years, but it's still weird. Yeah, we don't need that again. No. However, if this is Kenari, well, that means there's a whole nother arc to this second season that we don't even know about yet. We've talked about Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding, the Gorman massacre, possibly something to do with Yavin 4, and maybe, obviously, the Empire can't find Yavin 4, but some sort of mission that stems from seeing Yavin 4. But Kenari throws a whole nother wrench into the situation. If there really is a whole nother story arc in this second season about his sister, about him really trying to go find his sister, and going to the planet of Kenari, then we really have no idea what the hell's going on in this second season. We don't. Oh my God. Another crazy super chat. Darth Drafter with a very generous $20 holla. I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. I try not to show my frustrations when things aren't going great on the live streams. But when a live stream gets shut down like that, I appreciate you all so much for coming back. Just, it's incredible. However, Darth Drafter with a very generous $20 holla, holy crap, says, do the Cassian-Luthen exchange from the trailer burn very brightly? Love y'all, by the way. Well, I love you right back, Darth Drafter. That's very, very generous. And I can definitely do that and show that for sure. But let's get back to it. Now that I've been so rudely interrupted, let's get back to the trailer. So, Kenari, possibly right here, all of these characters looking around the same age as Cassian, and that's how old they would be now because Cassian is older.
Lack of trust. We need to come.
And also, it looks like he might have, like, seems to be the same, like, pilot outfit that he was wearing when he's when he's wearing, riding in the TIE Avenger too.
Trust. We need to come together.
We need to come together. So the big question is, in Rogue One, Saw Gerrera is sort of off doing his own thing on Jeddah. Will he sort of team up with Luthen one last time to do something crazy, maybe like the Gorman Massacre or something else? Luthen's going to die. We pretty much know 99.9% sure Luthen is going to die. He's talked about how he's making this sunrise that he'll never see, how he's given everything to the rebellion. So I think him and Saw are going to do something crazy. I don't know what it is, but something absolutely crazy that will probably end with Luthen dead, and maybe even Cyril, Dedra, characters like that also dead. At least a lot of Imperials are going down with Luthen. His death will be a very meaningful one. That's for damn sure. Yeah. I cannot stand the cliffhanger at the end of season 1. Well, the good news about that is we know for a fact that season 2 will not have a cliffhanger ending. That's the best part. That's the best news, if you will. There's no way that season 2 can have a cliffhanger ending because we know where it goes. Rogue One, and the opening scene of Rogue One will be the ending scene of this show. Yeah, that's the good news. But we do get a little bit of a younger Saw Gerrera here, probably in the earlier episodes of the season with 2 tubes.
If it goes up in flames,
And if it goes up in flames,
it will burn
it will burn. His voice is so low.
very brightly.
Got that raspiness to him. Okay, but
Very brightly.
got some stormtroopers shooting up at Cassian in his Diabetic. So quite the trailer that they just dropped randomly. A trailer a day keeps the haters away. But let's watch the other trailer. Oh, by the way, today is the sneak peek. Yes, this is a sneak peek at Andor Season 2 today in London. And here we have Bix, Adria, and Genevieve, who plays, of course, Mon Mothma, at that event currently right now. I think it might be going on right now. I don't know, though. But, so that was the trailer that just dropped. Where was the trailer from yesterday? Hang on. We do have a second trailer to watch here. Oh, and the runtimes. Yeah, the runtimes also. Oh, yeah, this one was cool.
Information.
This one is pretty cool. Check this one out. This was the trailer that dropped yesterday for Andor Season 2.
I have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the SAR-2 unit.
Rebellions are built on hope.
You want to fight? Or you want to win?
We have to beat them. I believe you have purpose in making that happen.
If we do not stand together, we will be crushed.
The Empire cannot win.
Andor, the final.
Okay, so this is the first time in the marketing for this show that they have really connected this second season to the other projects, to Rogue One and to A New Hope, specifically the original trilogy, because this is sort of the final piece to the puzzle, this Andor Season 2, to the rest of the story. Because now you have A New Hope, where the rebellion just got these Death Star plans, and you don't know really how. Rogue One explains how. And now Rogue One takes a character like Cassian and the beginnings of the rebellion and form that into a 2-season epic, 24-episode quadlogy times 2, a quadlogy duology, in terms of a television show. So Andor Season 2 is the final piece to that puzzle of explaining the whole process of the rebellion into Rogue One, into getting the Death Star plans for Leia in A New Hope. It's a lot, but we do have a super chat. Hang on. Oh, Ron with a very generous $10. Holy crap, you guys are insane. I appreciate it, Ron. Ron says, what the hell? Ron says, oh, there we go. Going to be interesting to see how Saw gets mangled like we see him in Rogue One. That's true, because Saw really needs that oxygen thing that's on his suit, and he's really messed up. So maybe we'll actually see what happens there. What if the same thing that gets Saw messed up like that is the same thing that kills Luthen? See, now we're on to something. Now we are on to something. I like that. I like that a lot, Ron. Jason says, the planet killer Cassia helped build? Oh, Cassian, I think you meant. Yeah, so we're going to get to see a lot of the Death Star, what you're referring to, in this second season for sure. But I didn't even think of that. Saw Gerrera is pretty messed up by the time of Rogue One. And what if that happens when him and Luthen are on some sort of mission which ends with him being messed up and Luthen dead? That would be wild. I like that a lot. And I appreciate the super chat. I really, really do. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here. But I appreciate it. Well, let's get back to this trailer. So this one again, like I mentioned before, is the first trailer that sort of connects everything together.
I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the SAR-2 unit.
Rebellions are built on hope.
You want to fight? Or you want to win?
We have to beat them. I believe.
Still, this right here is my favorite scene from any of the trailers they've given us. This was in the, I don't know, the second trailer they dropped, I forget. But this is the best scene. Not because it's Yavin 4, not because it's cool and whatever. It's the ship. It's the exact same model of a ship that Vader pulls out of the sky in Kenobi. That Obi-Wan and the rebels on that planet, somebody help me in the chat, I don't remember the name of the planet. But on that planet, when Obi-Wan and the rebels are trying to escape, and Vader pulls the ship out of the sky and rips it open, and they're not in there, and another ship takes off, that's this ship. Now, I don't think that that means that we'll see Vader. I don't think this ship means Vader. I don't think this ship means Obi-Wan. But it could mean a character like Bail Organa, or Leia, or, now hear me out, Ice Cube's son. I don't remember his name. The character that Ice Cube's son, is it Ice Cube's son? Somebody's son, plays in the Kenobi series. Like, there's some characters that we saw in Kenobi that could still be around at the time of this Andor series, still be a part of the rebellion, and be driving this ship, because we saw this ship in Kenobi. Was his name Jabim? Oh, the planet's name was Jabim. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. That clip of Jen is not even in the movie? What? This isn't in the movie?
Rebellions are built on.
You sure about that? Are you sure about that one? I feel like I remember this being in the movie. Maybe I'm wrong. Cal Kestis? No, I don't think this really means Cal Kestis.
We have to beat them. I believe.
This is a connection sort of to the hidden path, because the hidden path is what we see in Kenobi Season 1, in that the ship is connected to the hidden path. But to bring in a character like Cal Kestis into Andor would change the whole game. It would literally change the entire way we look at this Andor series. Because the first season has 0 cameos. Actually, it's almost the reverse of a... What's the opposite of a cameo? Because you have all these characters that come in, like Skeen, like Nemec, like Torben. Is it Torben? Tor, whatever his name is. Like Kino Loy. All these great characters, new characters that come in and die immediately, or after a couple episodes. They die so quickly. So it's pretty much the opposite of a cameo. A cameo is a character who was alive before and after the show, and they make a little bit of an appearance here, and everybody goes, yahoo! This is the opposite of a cameo. You get introduced to a new character, and they die immediately. It's the reverse of a cameo. Yeah. They're well-built characters. Yeah, you of course like the characters, but they die very, very quickly. Yeah. So, with that being said, this ship being there, and now it's the second time it's appeared in a trailer for Andor, is very, very important. Because this is a connection to Kenobi. This is a connection to the hidden path, and possibly some other crazy things that could happen. Jack Black and Lizzo cameo? No. No. Although Jack Black is really hot right now, coming off the Minecraft movie. If anybody's seen that. Give me a 1 into the chat if you've seen the Minecraft movie. I went opening night. That's besides the point. Okay, let's get back to this. So,
You have purpose in making that happen.
who is talking there?
We have to beat them. I believe you have purpose in making that happen.
Who is that talking, chat? Do we know?
We have to beat them. I believe you have purpose in making that happen.
It sounds sort of like Clea, whatever her name is. But I don't know if it is.
We have to beat them. I believe you have purpose in making that.
Oh, maybe Bix. But she says, we have to beat them, and I feel like you have a purpose in doing that. It's Jin. It kind of sounds like Jinner, so I'm not going to lie. But it's not. It does sound like Bix, I think.
We have to beat them. I believe you have purpose in making that happen.
No, I'm not the one who brought the live chicken into the theater for the Minecraft movie. No, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. I promise. But I will say I did clap when he said chicken jockey. Okay, the Jar Jar Binks cameo? No.
If we do not stand together, if we do not...
Who is this? Is this Pax's son? I don't think it is. Looks like a different character. Who is this, Jet? It looks like there's an X-Wing behind him. This looks like it's probably on Saw Gerrera's planet. I don't know who this is, Jet. I don't know.
Stand together. We will
Oh, is that Luthen at the wedding?
stand together.
Luthen's at the wedding.
Together.
There you go. See, every new teaser trailer that they drop every day has at least one new scene in it, and it gives us a tiny bit of more of a puzzle piece, I guess, to the greater story. And this is pretty important. This is confirming that Luthen will be at Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding. These two characters that aren't supposed to really be seen much together. Like, they have to hide their meetings with a gallery that he owns on Coruscant. I don't think you invite the gallery owner to your daughter's wedding. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I wouldn't invite a gallery owner that I sometimes frequent to my wedding. Or to my daughter's wedding, even. So what he's doing here, I have no idea. We also are led to believe that Krennic is also in attendance at this wedding. So what the hell's going on at this wedding? Who didn't get the invitation? Because I didn't. Did you guys get invited to this? It seems like everybody and their dogs got invited to this wedding. Sorry, Chewie, I didn't mean to offend. But it seems like everybody got invited to this wedding, and it might be a sort of a stare down, standoff, if you will. Krennic, Luthen, Mon Mothma, all in the same room, right before everything goes crazy, before the Gorman massacre happens. It'd be pretty wild. Because at this point, we're led to believe that the Empire still doesn't know Luthen's identity yet. So if they're all at this wedding, it'll be pretty damn cool. Yeah. Lonely Night, what's up? But this is a crazy scene. Confirming that Luthen is at the wedding is quite important.
We will be.
And I love how they throw in these scenes for like 1 second.
That happened.
If we do not stand together,
Like, it's 1 second. You blink, you miss it.
we will be crushed.
What ship is he?
We will
That's not a TIE Avenger, so what ship is he flying?
be crushed.
The Empire cannot wait.
Is that a Star Destroyer, Chad? No. What is going on here, though? You got some sort of TIE chase scene.
The Empire cannot
Okay.
win.
And of course, the Empire cannot win, but they do. Because guess what, Cassian? You're going to die on the beaches of Scarif, buddy, to a Death Star that you created. That's what's so crazy about this whole thing. Season 2 of Andor, like Diego Luna has said before, is going to make you see Rogue One and the original trilogy events differently. Because what happens in that season is going to change it all. Just like Season 1 has already changed so much of how we view Rogue One. Because now the Death Star that kills Cassian was crafted by Cassian. Now, obviously, he didn't single-handedly make the Death Star, but even still, it's pretty wild. Yeah. I hope we see Vader for even just a small part. There's always the choking scene. The debate that will go on until the answer is revealed. Was Dedra choking in that trailer? Or was she being force choked by Vader? Or was she just having a panic attack, as many fans think it's to be? Yeah. Okay. But those are the two trailers, one that just dropped 10 minutes ago, and the other one that dropped yesterday. A trailer a day keeps the haters away. For Andor Season 2. And with that, let's go over to the runtimes. So it's been revealed. The runtimes for every episode of Andor Season 2. Take a look at this. Hang on. Yeah, there it is. All the runtimes, all the directors have been revealed, all the writers have been revealed. So let's take a look at this. Runtimes for every episode of Star Wars Andor Season 2 revealed. Exclusive. The second and final season of the critically acclaimed Andor is due to hit our screens on April 22nd with its first 3 episodes. The series will then release 3 episodes a week up until May 13th. 3 episodes a week, only 4 weeks. A quadrilogy, if you will. When the final 3 episodes will air and conclude the series. One question I get asked fairly often is, what are the run times for various Star Wars shows? I usually don't like to talk about run times, as a conversation around them can become insufferable, as many people really complain about the run times. As some will complain about the episode's lengths before seeing the episode. Because some of the shortest episodes of The Mandalorian, some of the shortest pieces of Star Wars content we've ever received, like Tales of the Jedi, which is only 10-minute, 15-minute episodes, are some of the greatest episodes we've ever received. So it's really not about the runtime, it's about the content inside of the episode. But with that being said, at least to me, it doesn't matter what the runtime of each episode is. However, so many people care about it. So let's get to this. However, I'm sure readers okay, let's get to it. Episode 1, 51 minutes. Episode 2, 44 minutes. Episode 3, 53 minutes. By the way, these are all dropping on the same day. Somebody do the math. Do the math. That's 104. That's 148. 148 minutes. About an hour and a half-ish. Right? Oh, wait, no. I say 148 minutes? Or did I say 104 minutes? 148. Hang on. That's 2.5 hours. That's 2 hours and 28 minutes. 2.5 hours, chat. My math was not mathing there. 2.5 hours. That's a movie. No, that's not a short movie. That's a movie. That's a long movie. I just watched the Minecraft movie. It was like an hour 50. I just watched Captain America 4. It was not this long. That's a movie. We're talking about an actual Andor movie every week for 4 weeks. 2 hours and 28 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Then episode 4 is 54 minutes. Also, episode 5 is 54 minutes. Also, episode 6 is 54 minutes. So this second week is actually even longer. That would be about 150 plus 12, 162 minutes. What? What? All in 1 week. This is going to be some long-ass watch parties, chat. 44 minutes, 47 minutes, 58 minutes, 48 minutes, 42, 46. There is not one lower than 40, first and foremost. And the lowest is 42, and the highest is 58. This is chaos. This is absolute chaos. The runtimes for these episodes are even longer than season 1, and 3 episodes at a time will be released, giving you a movie of Andor every single week for 4 weeks. And it's spread out perfectly, because when you think about it, this takes place over 1 year. Then there's a year gap. Well, sorry, it only takes place over a couple days. But then there's a year gap between episode 3 and episode 4. So within the week, it's a year gap. And then a year gap in between episodes 6 and episode 7. Same thing between episodes 9 and episodes 10. So there's a year gap in between each of the 3 episode arcs. So we're literally getting a beginning, middle, and end of a Andor movie every week for 4 weeks. Crazy. Will it air on Tuesdays in the UK or Wednesday mornings? I think in the UK it's Wednesday morning. I'm not too sure. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Eastern Standard Time of the United States. That's all I can really tell you. But I'm very much looking forward to the second season and final season of Andor. The series is without question my favorite, this is their opinion, not mine, thing created under the Disney ownership, and one of the best pieces of Star Wars media ever created, in my opinion. That's pretty high praise. So, there you go. These are the runtimes, and they do not disappoint. The fact that they all came out at the same time, too, is pretty wild. Usually it's one runtime a week for a while, but I guess not. So, with that being said, are we satisfied? Are you satisfied, chat, with these runtimes? I'm serious, because all the time we argue and we complain about how short all these runtimes for the episodes are. When Skeleton Crew was coming out, we were complaining that the episodes were only 35, 38 minutes. Is this good enough? What is the correct amount? What is the best possible outcome for a runtime for a Star Wars show? Is this it? Is this the best possible outcome for a Star Wars show? Because you could argue it should be longer. It should be 60 minutes. It should be an hour and 10 minutes an episode. I guess you could argue it should be shorter, but I don't know who's arguing that. Somebody said decent. Yes, it's going to be awesome. Beyond satisfied. Okay. They really want those Nielsen numbers. You're not wrong. So a lot of the reason that many people think that they release 3 at a time is to get on those Nielsen charts. Yeah. Look at the size of that thing. I'm glad it's dropping at 9 p.m. in the U.S. Yeah, it's so much better than the 3 a.m. watch parties. No offense to all the people who now have to wake up at 3 a.m. The 3 a.m. watch parties were brutal. I mean, this is going to be brutal because it's 2.5 hours. So if we start at 9, we're going to end at least 11:30, and then I have to make breakdown videos all night until all day Wednesday because there's 3 episodes to break down. It's going to be chaos. But greatness. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with chaos if the show is great. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice, Christian? 6 p.m. would be fantastic. Yeah. That'd be nice. Okay. But having said that, yeah, we got people all over the globe in this chat today. Where's everybody coming from? Where's everybody tuning in from? At least what country. You don't have to say specifically. But those are the runtimes for Andor Season 2, and they got people quite excited because they're pretty damn long. A lot longer than Season 1's runtimes, and those were even pretty long too. It's wild. Holy crap, we're all over the place. Ohio, Scotland, Texas, Germany, New York, UK, United States, UK, Michigan, California, Toronto. We're literally everywhere right now. All we're missing, I guess we're missing a lot. It's only Europe and America, but, and Canada. Okay. Phoenix, Arizona. There you go. All right. That's the Andor news of it all. We're going to go back and watch the trailers later on, but we got to get to the other news. Darth Vader's return and Hondo Ohnaka's return. I'm going to save the Hondo stuff because it really leads to even more with the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo and all that crazy stuff. So we'll get to that in a second, okay? But let's start with the Darth Vader of it all. So this was just revealed. What? Yes, okay. This was just revealed, again, before Star Wars Celebration. Take a look at this. Star Wars, Master of Evil, and look at that. I know it's in the thumbnail for today's live stream, but look at this. Look at how sick this is. He's got one lens and then no lens. You can see his Sith eye, and his whole thing is like deteriorating. Master of Evil, a new Darth Vader novel turns the page on the Sith Lord. A creepy new book cover gives us a glimpse beneath the helmet of Darth Vader. Lucasfilm Art Department legend Doug Chiang takes us inside his portfolio in the world of the Acolyte. In the world of Acolyte has been revealed through stunning new cover art ahead of Star Wars Celebration 2025. Again, ahead of Star Wars Celebration 2025. They are announcing so many things before Star Wars Celebration even happens. Before. Which means there's going to be a lot more to be announced at Star Wars Celebration. We have a special look at 7 new announcements. 7 new announcements right now. Let's take a look. Including cover reveals. So make sure to keep your S foils locked in attack position. Okay. Let's check it out. So this is the first one. Master of Evil with this badass front cover. Delve into the dark side with Star Wars Master of Evil. From the comic run of from the comic run to Star Wars Rebels, we had a chance to see what Darth Vader was up to after the events of Revenge of the Sith and, of course, before the events of A New Hope. The newly announced Master of Evil by Adam Christopher, author of the best-selling Shadow of the Sith. No way. I didn't even know that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. It is Adam. Hold up, chat. If you have not read this book yet, it is probably my most recommended. Like this is the one. It's Luke Skywalker, older Luke, but before sequels. Lando looking for his daughter. You got a Sith here. I won't spoil it. And then you got Ochi of Bastoon with the dagger, and he's chasing down Rey, young Rey, and her parents, and what happens there. I won't give anything away except for that. That's the plot. And it's by the same guy who's doing this Vader book. So, with that, he's got a pretty good track record. So, chronicles Darth Vader's haunting pursuit of the power, for the power of conquering death. So, much of the time spent between the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy for Lord Vader himself is trying to conquer death. The same thing that he tried to do in Revenge of the Sith. He tries to save Padme by conquering death. And that's what's going to be explained here. That's what's going to be explored in this new project. Take a look at the creepy cover revealed by artist Simon yeah, that guy. Simon. And get your hands on the Sinister Story, on November 11th, 2025. So not till the end of this year. But it will be announced at Star Wars Celebration, and it's announced early right here. So even more Vader. How long was the Vader comic run? Like 5 years, 6 years? So not only do we have Darth Vader in Star Wars Rebels, like it says here, but a 6-year comic run for Lord Vader himself. He's in Kenobi. He's in Rogue One. He could be in Andor Season 2. Like, the return of Darth Vader is real. He's coming back, and he'll be around for quite some time. They're filling out this gap that is the original trilogy to the prequel trilogy. And Vader's all over it. All over it. I wonder if Vader will even appear in Tales of the Underworld. It's probably unlikely, but Asajj Ventress has such a history with the character of Anakin that seeing Asajj versus Vader will be so poetic. Think about it. They fought time and time again, Asajj as the bad guy and Anakin as the good guy. And now the roles have reversed. Asajj is the bad guy. Asajj is the good guy. And Anakin is the bad guy. That'd be pretty wild. Okay, but this is the big one, and then there's 6 others. So, this is Doug Chiang's The Star Wars Legacy, Cinematic Legacy in the Star Wars Legacy. 2 volumes, 800 pages, celebrating the Academy Award winning artist and designer Doug Chiang. So a bunch of art stuff from the prequel trilogy and The Mandalorian too. Halloween Spirit. I find your lack of candy disturbing. Looks like a kid's book. The Acolyte. So this is the news that a lot of Acolyte fans and Renew the Acolyte fans have been waiting to hear. They really haven't vaulted this time period or this project. Like, usually when you cancel a show after the first season because people didn't like it or whatever it may be, you stop making content about that project. You just full stop. We're done with that. No, thank you. We'll move on to the next thing. But that's not what happened. We've already had We're already getting 2 prequel novels to The Acolyte. Now we're getting a art of the Star Wars The Acolyte and The Acolyte's visual guide, which comes out June 5th or June 17th here in the US. And then this one comes out October 7th, 2025. So they're not like taking this project and just shoving it away, never to talk about it again. They're literally giving us more and more and more content from this time period about this show. And not only that, Manny Jacinto, who plays Kymir, one of the coolest characters in the entire show right there, he'll be at Star Wars Celebration. I don't think he has his own panel. Maybe he does, I don't know. But he'll be at Star Wars Celebration. So for those of you holding out hope for The Acolyte, they're giving you reason to. They're really giving you reason to. And if this isn't enough, let me see if I can find this really quick, actually. If that's not enough, how about this? Master Soul's Legacy lightsaber is coming to Disneyland. Or it's at Disneyland now. So they're really still pushing on these characters that they created for this show to continue marketing and continue making projects about it. Just not a season 2, seemingly. So, there you have it. Moving on, we have some sort of, what are they calling it? Star Wars blueprints. Okay, so you get all the blueprints from all the ships and stuff. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Star Wars blueprints. And then we get, this is the Women of Star Wars. Yeah, Women of the Galaxy, sorry. Bix, Dedra, and more. You can see Shin Hati here as well. So there's your 7-1. That one. The Blueprints one. 2 Acolyte projects. A kid's book. Concept art stuff from the original prequel trilogy and The Mandalorian. And this Vader novel, which just looks so badass. So badass. But the coolest part about all this, and the content itself is great. However, the fact is, we are still 1 week away from Star Wars Celebration. And they are announcing all of this stuff early. Last week we had Star Wars Underworld. This week we have 7 new projects. What the hell is going to be announced at Star Wars Celebration? That's so huge that you have to announce this stuff early. You have to get this stuff out of the way, pretty much, to make room for what's to come. Possibly a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, or highly likely a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Ahsoka Season 2 news, maybe a Ahsoka Season 2 teaser, possibly. A lot of focus on Andor Season 2, announcements of new live-action Star Wars projects, announcements of new animated Star Wars projects, hopefully a multi-season show, maybe following Luke Skywalker, maybe a Hidden Path show, maybe an Omega and Harrison Dula show during the time of the original trilogy. Either way, they're clearly making room for something great, or a lot of things that are going to be great. So much so that they released a trailer for a new animated series that nobody knew about, Star Wars Underworld, last week about Asajj Ventress and Cad frickin' Bane. And then they announced 7 more projects today. So they're clearly cooking up something. They're cooking up something for Star Wars Celebration. And yes, this is, just as Justin says, this is just the beginning. Hashtag make Manny the stranger again. Yes, facts. That is a fact. Write that down, Chad. Write that down. But that's the Vader. He's returning in this, but he could also be returning in Andor Season 2. So the Vader Returns of the title is referencing this. However, it might be something else as well. People have been coming to me saying, Mike, there's going to be a Vader show. There's going to be a Vader show. I'll believe it when I see it, but a Vader show would be pretty awesome. Not going to lie. Okay. But that's the Vader news. Now let's talk about Hondo Ohnaka. Okay. Not only is the new theory that Hondo is going to be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, but the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and this was a couple days ago, it says 10 days away. We are only 8 days away now. We are 8 days away from possibly seeing the first publicly released teaser trailer for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Think about it. We are really 1 week away from seeing the next Star Wars movies trailer. That's insane. That is so ridiculously hype. That's like back in 2014 when we're waiting for The Force Awakens to get its first trailer. Like it's obviously not going to be Chewie, We're Home, because that was like one of the greatest trailers of all time. But it could be close to that. We haven't had a Star Wars movie in 7 years. 6 right now, but it will be 7 next year. 6 years. And this is the return. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, with that being said, publicly released, or just for those in attendance at Celebration, it's like 99% sure it's going to be publicly released. Yeah. Well, let's talk about this Hondo Ohnaka of it all. Let's talk about this. Wait, what? Hang on, chat. Oh, yeah, because my tabs closed down, chat. All right, here we go. Legendary actor teases the long-awaited Star Wars return in an upcoming project. This, my friends,
this is where the fun begins.
I don't like that. Why did it continue going after it clicked back to me? What is going on with my streaming software today, chat? I don't know. Okay. Legendary voice actor Jim Cummings teases that his beloved Star Wars character, Hondo Ohnaka, will be making another appearance soon. Cummings is an industry veteran known for providing his voice as Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck. Who the hell's Darkwing Duck? I don't know. And many more. He is also a part of the Star Wars franchise, voicing the space pirate known as Hondo Ohnaka. Now, maybe you're like, Mike, weren't we just recently talking about Hondo Ohnaka? Yes! Because for the entire run of the Skeleton Crew series, we all thought, myself included, that Hondo was going to be in that series. For good reason. It's a show about pirates. He's the pirate in Star Wars. Now, Hondo never showed up. His ship was in the background, but that's a whole other thing for a whole other time. He did not show up. However, he will be coming. Hondo Ohnaka. Ohnaka first appeared in the Clone Wars series, with Cummings reprising his role in Star Wars Rebels and most importantly, the Disney theme park attraction Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run. Keep that in mind, chat. Keep that in mind. Speaking with comicbookmovie.com, I guess, Cummings confirmed that his days as Hondo Ohnaka are not done. The actor revealed that he did some recent facial recognition work for the character in an upcoming Star Wars project and did not yet specify which one. Due to Hondo having appeared in projects ranging from the Clone Wars to Smuggler's Run, which takes place in the sequel trilogy time period, he could theoretically show up in a wide variety of Star Wars projects across the franchise's timeline. Is an appearance in The Mandalorian and Grogu in the cards? Check out what he had to say. So this is what he specifically said. Well, speaking of coming back, knock on wood, as we all just did, we'll see what is in store for our friend Hondo Ohnaka. I did the facial recognition for Hondo Ohnaka for an upcoming project, so stay tuned for that. Let's read the rest of this article before I get into what I think's going on here. Okay. It is entirely possible that Jim Cummings may be referring to new lines and scenes that he may have recorded in the upcoming update of Smuggler Run's ride that will tie into the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. However, there is also the chance that Hondo could appear in the film itself. The upcoming feature does seem to have a very alien-centric Star Wars film, with the film cast of characters including Grogu, Zeb from Rebels, Jeremy Allen White as Stinky the Hutt, Rod of the Hutt. Hondo would undoubtedly fit the Mandalorian and Grogu's aesthetic. It is possible that Cummings is reprising his role in Ahsoka Season 2. Possibly. The character has a history with many members of the Ghost crew from Star Wars Rebels, specifically Ezra Bridger, who has finally returned from the other galaxy. Hondo also crossed paths with Ahsoka Tano many times throughout the Clone Wars, making him the perfect character to appear in Season 2. There you go. While it is doubtful that Hondo would appear in Andor Season 2, he might show up sooner rather than later, as he plays a role in the animated short series, could play a role in the animated short series Tales of the Underworld. The Star Wars animated series will feature 2 3-episode blocks focusing on bounty hunters Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane. While Hondo is a space pirate, he does have a great deal of overlap with the bounty hunting community. With Hondo's long life in the Star Wars galaxy, he could theoretically factor into several projects, including Sean Levy's planned Star Wars film that could have Ryan Gosling and, like we just talked about last stream, Jesse Plemons, Simon Kinberg's new trilogy, or even Donald Glover's Lando movie that is still remains to be shrouded in secrecy. Whenever Hondo does appear, it certainly will be a welcome one, as he has always been a welcome addition to the Star Wars story. So let's talk about this. With that being said, with him doing motion capture stuff for Hondo, or facial recognition stuff for Hondo, it seems to be a live action sort of thing, like either the ride at Galaxy's Edge for Smuggler Run, which we know is getting this big update for next year, where the Mandalorian is going to be integrated into it. But could he be actually doing it for the movie itself? The Mandalorian and Grogu movie just finished filming in December, and now they're in post-production where all this stuff would happen, where if he was going to be in the movie, that's when it would happen. So my question to you, chat, is where do you think Hondo will be next? Where do you think we'll see him? And my theory is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and I have good reason. So tell me in the chat, where do you think we'll see him and why? Let's actually put this up in a poll in the chat, shall we? Let's poll it up. Let's pull it up. Okay, by the way, 64% of you do think we'll see Cassian's sister in the second season. Okay. Where do you think we will see Hondo Ohnaka? The Mandalorian and Grogu. Just Smuggler's Run, because he's already there. Just Smuggler's Run. New update, I guess. Oh, wait, no. I was supposed to put... Okay. Those are your two options, I guess. I was supposed to put a third one. It was just going to be other, but just you could just vote on that, I guess. Where do you think we'll see him next? So, let me pull up this article really quickly. Smuggler's Run Mandalorian. Here we go. This was the big news a couple weeks ago. Give me a 1 into the chat if you remember this. The Millennium Falcon getting Smuggler's Run getting a huge update with the Mandalorian next year with the movie. We talked about it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. So, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie gets a new mission at the Smuggler's Run in Disney. Disney has announced the debut date for a new mission featuring the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, Grogu, for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler Run at Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. These posts share details and dates for everything that we know about this change, plus our tried and true commentary about Star Wars changes. This news is also during Disney's feature presentation, the future of world building at Disney. Okay, that's where it happened. So, among those on the stage was Jon Favreau, director and producer of the upcoming movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, who was joined on stage by Imagineers Leslie Evans and Asa Kalama. Sure. Sorry, Asa, if I mispronounced both your names, first and last, to talk about what's going on soon at Batuu. One of the projects they provided was an update on a new mission featuring the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler Run at Galaxy's Edge that will tie in to the film. So this is what Jon Favreau had to say. One of the cool things about Disney is how we can tell our story in so many different formats. We are already taking The Mandalorian and Grogu from the TV screen to the movie screen. And at the same time, Dave Filoni and I are working with Asa to bring the story to the Disney parks too. Now, what does this mean? It's something that can be only done at Disney, bringing avid Star Wars fans closer to the story that they know and love via a more innovative magic of the Disney parks. This new mission will debut on May 22nd, 2026. Yes, the exact same date as the Mandalorian and Grogu movie as it arrives into theaters. And these were the screenshots that were released a couple weeks ago. You have the Millennium Falcon with the Razor Crest. Yeah, that's right. The Razor Crest, which, by the way, blew up in season 2. Whoa, what? Which, by the way, blew up in season 2 of The Mandalorian. If you forgot, R.I.P. the Razor Crest. If you forgot, it blew up in season 2 of The Mandalorian. So it's featuring the Razor Crest at Cloud City. Yeah, Cloud City. So not only will this release the same day as the Mandalorian and Grogu movie and connect directly to the events of this movie, but that means also the rumor of Hondo Ohnaka being in the movie itself. That means the Millennium Falcon, a Razor Crest, Hondo Ohnaka, probably either Lando or Han or Chewie, whoever the hell is piloting the Millennium Falcon at this time, will be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And to top it all off, they might be going back to Cloud City. What? What? So, the craziness about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is the little that we know. Stinky the Hutt, Embo, this whole fake plot about this bounty hunting mission to go save Stinky the Hutt, just like the Clone Wars plot was back in 2008. There's something ridiculously crazy going on here. And I think next week, when we get the trailer for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, we'll get some more information about this. But the fact of the matter is, this ride is going to directly connect to the events of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. There's a Razor Crest, which means we're getting the Razor Crest back somehow, some way. I think it's Zeb Orellius's, but even still, the Millennium Falcon will likely be in the movie. Like, very likely be in the movie. Hondo Ohnaka, Jim Cummings says, is coming soon. Probably in the movie. Now you got to be asking the question, well, is Han and Chewie also going to be in the movie? Who's piloting the Millennium Falcon at this point? I mean, the only correct answer would be Han and Chewie, right? Right? So now you're talking about a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which seemed cool within itself, like cool, like Grand Admiral Thrawn probably set up pretty well and connecting to all these different characters. You give us Bo-Katan, sure. You give us Boba Fett, maybe. You give us Cobb Vanth, sure. Yeah. What? No, we're talking Hondo Ohnaka, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, Chewbacca, the Millennium Falcon. We're talking go big or go home. And Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni sat down and said, we're going big. We're going big. Give us everything. This is the return to the theater for the first time since the sequel trilogy, which left fans so divided. And they're going big. It's Uther Plutt. If Uther Plutt is piloting the Millennium Falcon, I will throw... Actually, I'll be watching it in a movie theater. I will throw popcorn at the movie theater screen. I was going to say, I'll throw my controller into the movie theater screen. But this is not the only image that we have. As they're going back to Tatooine. Maybe to go visit a good pal, Boba Fett. Actually, this might not be Tatooine. It sure as hell looks like it, though. To go and visit their good pal, Boba Fett. Also... Wait. Chat, this is the wreckage of the second Death Star. What? What? The only reason I, first of all, am even guessing that is because when I open this link at the top of my screen, look at this. Look at the links at the top of my screen. This one that we're open right now, it says Andor, Mandalorian, Grogu, Millennium Falcon, Disney World, Disneyland, sorry, JPEG. Andor. So now you're going to sit here and tell me that we could be going to the wreckage of the second Death Star in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie? So all the shit we heard about Stinky the Hutt, Embo, all this crazy stuff that happened there, all that stuff was great, cool, sounds cool, fine, sure, whatever. No, we're getting Grand Admiral Thrawn, Hondo Ohnaka, Millennium Falcon, whoever the hell is piloting that Millennium Falcon, Tatooine, Bespin, in the wreckage of the second Death Star. What is this movie? What is this movie? Embo equals Filoni trolling? I think it is. I think the Embo stuff was really just to throw us off the scent. Because if this is really what's going on, it'll be absolutely insane. This might be them honestly trying to explain the sequels a little bit too, and that might come off the wrong way for certain fans. But it might be. Like, if we're going back to Andor and we're seeing the wreckage of the second Death Star, that'd be pretty wild. I mean, look at this. You got TIE fighters that are like blown up. You got X-Wings that are split in half. You got some sort of rebel ship over there that's shut down. And of course, the Death Star is in shambles. We know eventually that this stuff crash lands into this moon. But isn't that wild? The fact is, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, we know so little about at this point in time. The trailer that comes out next week will give us a lot more information, but the information that we do have is that this ride that will feature Din Djarin and Grogu at Disney World in Disneyland, as you can see right here, that's Din and Grogu outside the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. This will take place directly off screen, right off screen, as according to Jon Favreau himself. The events of this ride at Galaxy's Edge will take place right off screen, meaning that the stuff that happens on screen is connected to the Millennium Falcon, connected to Hondo Ohnaka, and these locations that happen in the ride. Bespin, Tatooine, and the second Death Star. The wreckage of the second Death Star. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. This leads me to believe that the trailer we're going to get next week might blow up the internet. Like, actually blow up. Here's the deal. The Andor Season 2's first trailer was trending on YouTube for like 3 days, maybe 4. I'm not too sure. Then the second trailer that they dropped trended on YouTube for maybe 2-3 days. 2, I think. Something like that. So the hype for Star Wars right now is clearly there. And if this Mandalorian and Grogu even teases the fact of seeing Bespin or the Millennium Falcon or Han Solo or Chewie even, people will lose their freaking minds. We'll have no idea what to think, no idea what to do. We won't even know how to live for a whole year without seeing this movie if we know that that's what's happening. If we know that Han Solo and Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon will be in the movie. Original trilogy nostalgia. Well, it takes place 10 years after the original trilogy, 5 years after the original trilogy. Pretty wild. Pretty damn wild. Holly with a very generous $5 holla. I appreciate that, Holly. Says, setting up the heir to the Empire. Oh, absolutely. This movie will be setting up Grand Admiral Thrawn to be the heir to the Empire. But now, I'm leaning towards the fact that this might not be what we think it's going to be. This Mandalorian and Grogu movie might not be what everybody thinks it's going to be. And by that, I mean, it's not going to be about Embo and Stinky the Hutt. And maybe they're in it, but they're not going to be the main objective here. Grand Admiral Thrawn will be the main villain, but I really don't think he'll play that big a role in this first movie because there will be 3. Well, there will be 2, but there's probably going to be 3. It will be so crazy. And again, it will be so great because they've already announced Star Wars Underworld, or Tales of the Underworld. They've already announced 7 new books and projects coming out before Star Wars Celebration. If they come out in the opening panel, because this time next week, or in a couple hours, next week, we'll be watching the first panel from Star Wars Celebration, and it's The Mandalorian and Grogu. They're starting it out with a bang, hopefully giving us the first official teaser trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, but also announcing the trilogy. We already know that Dave Filoni's getting his own Mandoverse movie. We already know that. So it's not just going to be 2 movies. They're going to give a third, and it will be a trilogy. And it's Heir to the Empire, baby. We're getting Grand Admiral Thrawn, the big blue meanie. We're getting it in all its glory. Yeah. And I can't freaking wait. But I appreciate it, Holly. I really, really do. Super chats, memberships keep the lights on over here. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate the hearts in the chat, too. Yeah. I've heard all that stuff at Disneyland isn't going to last that long and will be over by the time the movie comes out. I have no clue if that's true. It's not, because this comes out the exact same day the movie comes out. The reason that they can't release this ride earlier than May 22nd is because it's going to spoil the movie. It takes place in the same time as the movie and takes place in the same events of the movie. That's why they can't release it earlier than the movie itself, because it spoils the movie. That's why it's very bloody likely that we'll be seeing Bespin, Tatooine, and the wreckage of the second Death Star in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, alongside the Millennium Falcon and its pilots, which is hopefully Han and Chewie, and Hondo Ohnaka, as Jim Cummings says, he just did facial recognition for Hondo Ohnaka for an upcoming project. It's crazy times. Crazy, crazy times for us Star Wars fans. Next week, everything changes. Literally. At our Saturday live stream, next Saturday, everything is going to be completely different. We're going to be talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie and what we really know about it now. We're going to be talking about all these crazy announcements and predictions and all these craziness. Absolute craziness. And then, after all that, we get to go watch Andor Season 2. After all the great news and announcements and projects and new projects, and Andor Season 2 is 2 days later. It's quite literally the greatest time to be a Star Wars fan. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, it comes out May 22nd. May 22nd, 2026. I almost said 2, but no. Yeah. It's wild. So not only is Jim Cummings coming back to play Hondo Ohnaka in some sort of upcoming project, which is most likely the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, but we could be seeing the Millennium Falcon and really setting up Luke, Leia, and Han to return in the Heir to the Empire. If they are making it a trilogy, which they best be. And I can't wait. Okay, can I get some good customer orders in the chat, please? Bumpa. I'm working on something, guys, behind the scenes. I know you guys have been patiently waiting for this next What If. Not going to lie. I've sort of put the What If off to the side to make this project instead. But I'm working on something pretty crazy you're not going to want to miss. Let's just put it that way. You're not going to want to miss it. Yeah. Okay. Is Samantha here today? No, she is not. She is not here today. I get it. I'm not enough for you guys. Why isn't Mike talking about Hondo and Outlaws? So yeah, there's a DLC coming out for Outlaws, but that would have been created literally years ago. So his filming for something new right now would be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, or something even after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Yeah. For sure. Elon Musk is going to audition for Grand Admiral Thrawn. It would be so sick. It is funny how much he looks like you paint Elon Musk blue, he looks like Thrawn. Like, it's freaky. Yeah. Pretty funny, though. Yeah. I feel like Abeloth will play a huge role in the post-Rise of Skywalker era. Well, yeah, I mean, Ahsoka Season 2 will get a big update next weekend, so that's pretty exciting. But whether or not they'll go to Abeloth is a very, very big part of the story. And, oh wait, Samantha's in the chat. Say hi to Samantha in the chat, guys. But it's going to be a big part of the story. I don't know if Abeloth will play a big role in the Mandoverse. Like, maybe in Ahsoka Season 2, but not specifically the Mandoverse in the regular Star Wars galaxy that we know and love. In Peridia, sure. With Anakin, Ahsoka, all that, sure. But in the regular Star Wars galaxy, it's going to be Grand Admiral Thrawn, and it's going to be the heir to the Empire. I feel like you can cover up not talking about Thrawn in the sequel trilogy, but not talking about Abeloth in the sequel trilogy is very hard to pull off. Because she's so powerful, and she would just cause so much damage to the galaxy that it would have to be mentioned in the sequel trilogy, and it's not. So I agree with you. I think they're saving Abeloth for a post-sequel trilogy storyline. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Once I had a dream that Abeloth was in Ahsoka Season 2. Well, The Force Dragon, that dream is going to become a reality. Hopefully. Yeah. Because why is Abeloth only going to be recaptured and killed in one season? Yeah, Abeloth is not a one-season bad guy. She's not a Ahsoka Season 2 and then they're going to kill her off by the end of it. No, she is not that. She's going to be she's as big as Palpatine. Actually, probably even bigger in some worlds, I guess. She's more powerful than Palpatine. Easily. Like, not even... She could snap her fingers and beat Palpatine. She's a god. So that's not really fair. But she's going to be a massive villain and could be the main villain, hopefully, of not only the Rey movie, but the Simon Kinberg trilogy, maybe even the Sean Levy movie, and so on and so forth. What's my favorite Star Wars movie? Revenge of the Sith. And we've talked about all this hype stuff, the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, the Star Wars Celebration, Andor Season 2. That Friday, 2 weeks from tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, Revenge of the Sith comes back to theaters. 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith is in 2 weeks from now. Top it all off. I know. It's a crazy, crazy time. So if you're like me and you're a youngling, I guess, and you were too young to watch Revenge of the Sith in theaters because you were only 3 at the time, now you can go and watch the greatest Star Wars movie, in my personal opinion, on the big screen. Yeah. Ahsoka Season 2 hasn't begun filming yet, right? It did begin filming. We talked about this last week, I think. So I think last week it started filming. And it's probably going to film for the next 2 weeks. And hopefully, like they did with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, there will be a teaser trailer released to the people at Star Wars Celebration. It won't be released publicly, but it'll be released to the people at Star Wars Celebration. And much like the Mandalorian trailer that was released at D23 last summer to the people there, it will get leaked out. And I can't wait. It will get leaked out, and I can't freaking wait. Yeah. So hopefully they have enough there. Yeah. For sure. Mike is so young that he still wears diapers. I can neither confirm nor deny. I want Ahsoka and Ventress to meet again. Well, it seems as though, with Tales of the Underworld, that they are setting that up. They didn't just bring back Asajj Ventress from the dead, because they literally did, from the Dark Disciple novel, just to kill her off after Tales of the Underworld. Like, that's not the purpose here. They're setting Asajj Ventress up for a great story coming later down the line. Now that Thrawn has a whole army of Night Sisters, there's really only 2 Night Sister characters that could come and help. And that is Asajj Ventress and Merrin from the Jedi games. Cal Kestis' girlfriend. So Merrin, she has a little bit different of a story than Asajj. She is more of a true Night Sister, if you will. She uses Night Sister magic. She was at the massacre when Grievous killed all the people there. But now she's a good guy, and she works alongside Cal Kestis, helping other Jedi at the Hidden Path and a lot of cool stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But the question becomes, will Asajj and Merrin be sort of the keys, if you will, to stopping the Night Sisters? It's possible. It's definitely possible. But that would bring Cal Kestis into the fold too, which would be fantastic. And who knows about this new youngling character that's in Tales of the Underworld too. It'd be great. It would be great. Yeah. Abeloth will look like Ben to Rey, and then she'll fall for it, and then Abeloth kills Rey. That'd be pretty wild. 100% confirmed from my sources, LOL. Okay. Where will we see the Bendu in live action? Honestly, I don't know. There's characters like the Bendu that just may never appear again. Some things that almost get no explanation. George Lucas and Dave Filoni also, they like to do this thing where they introduce such a cool new character like Yoda, for example, and then give him nothing. Yes, Yoda has a bunch of more appearances, as he's a Jedi Master, Grandmaster during the time of the prequel trilogy. But you don't get any information about his backstory or his species or anything like that, and it should remain that way. However, I think the Bendu is sort of on a similar trek, where I don't know if we'll get much anywhere else, you know? Yeah. But I don't know. Do you guys think we'll see the Bendu at any point in the future? What do we think? Actually, let's pull this one up. Let's pull it up. Do you think we will see the Bendu ever again? Yes or no? What do we think? And by the way, 60% of you, yeah, that's right, think that Hondo Ohnaka will be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And I gotta agree. If that whole Smuggler's Run thing is true, and we're seeing Hondo in the Millennium Falcon and all that crazy stuff in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, the limitations are just completely gone for that movie. If they're bringing in Han. Okay, the big question, though, is if Han Solo will be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie in the Millennium Falcon, is it Alden Ehrenreich? Do they deep fake the character, or do they keep the recast that they recasted for the Solo movie? See, now we're asking the good questions, Jen. Because think about it. Luke Skywalker is deep faked during the course of the Mandoverse. In season 2 of The Mandalorian, in the Book of Boba Fett, he's deep faked to create a very, very realistic looking Luke Skywalker. So is Leia in Rogue One. So is Hayden Christensen in Ahsoka. But the question becomes, if Han Solo is in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, do they deepfake him, or do they keep Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo? What do we think? It's a little different when you're doing a prequel versus a sequel, I guess. I was going to say a pre-sequel, but you're doing a sequel to the character of Han. Because in a prequel, like Ewan McGregor playing a young Obi-Wan, you can have a younger actor play the younger character because you look a little bit different, I guess. The Han Solo one's a little bit different because the Obi-Wan age gap is way bigger. But even still, it's easier for a prequel. Now, if you bring back Alden Ehrenreich and have him be Han post-original trilogy, now you've sandwiched Harrison Ford. Actually, I guess he's in the sequel trilogy. Now you're jumping all over the place. You're going Alden, Harrison for the sequel trilogy. That's a lot. You deepfake. Harrison Ford seems to be doing more of that with Red Hulk and Indiana Jones 5. True. I feel like Harrison Ford would love the paycheck, absolutely. But I feel like he likes the technology and maybe will want to do it. He's doing a lot of work recently. I mean, he's the Red Hulk and Captain America. He's doing Indiana Jones movies again. He's doing Yellowstone spinoffs. He's doing what the hell's the name of that show? Shrinking, the comedy thing. He's all over the place. So maybe he would want to come back as Han. He's always been so jokey about how much he hates the character, hates Star Wars. Like it's a big sort of joke for the most part. But I don't know. What do we think? Do you deepfake or do you recast? What do we think? Actually, I want to pull this one up. The deepfake recast conversation is always a crazy one to me. To me, if the deepfake works, then you do it. Actually, Lobo brings up a great point. You deepfake onto Alden. So you bring in Alden Ehrenreich and you deepfake Harrison's face onto his. It's the same thing they did with Luke in The Mandalorian. They have a younger actor who plays Luke. Then they have Mark Hamill also play Luke, and then they take both performances, I guess, and turn it into Luke Skywalker. There's a lot that goes into it, but you're absolutely right. They could do that for sure. Well, let's pull this up. And by the way, wow, that was 50-50. Okay, 50-50 pretty much. 51-49% of you guys think that we will never see Bendu again. If Han Solo is in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, he should be ... deepfake or Alden. How do you spell Alden Ehrenreich? Chat. How do you spell Alden Ehrenreich? Correctly, please. No fake. No ones. No. I need the correct spelling. Is it technically de-aging in this case? If Harrison Ford is playing Han, but that's just splitting hairs. Well, yes, it's de-aging, but it's more than that. You know. Dave with the very generous $2 haul says Falcon won't be in the movie, just the Galaxy's Edge ride. But that's the whole point. Jon Favreau said that the ride is taking place during the events of the movie. And that would be pretty weird if you had a ride of the Millennium Falcon taking place during the events of the movie and then not having the Millennium Falcon be in the movie. Something's not adding up there. How do you spell Alden Ehrenreich, chat? Oh, okay, thank you. Ehrenreich. Oh my God, that's a hard name to spell. If it's wrong, it's I Hodge's fault. Okay, go ahead. If Han Solo is to be in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, will it be deepfaked or do you want it to be Alden Ehrenreich? Alex, what's up? Oh my God, Mr. /X, you're crazy. The de-aging scene in Indiana Jones 5 is still the best part of the whole movie. I'm going to be completely honest with you, chat. I've still never seen Indiana Jones 5. Yeah. I just never got around to it, I guess. I don't know. People were crapping on it so much at the time, and then I just never watched it. I don't know. I never watched it. I don't know. The deepfake technology has gotten so much better. Oh my God, yeah. Well, think about it this way. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out in 2020, or sorry, The Mandalorian Season 2 comes out in 2020. 1 year later, in 2021, when Luke Skywalker shows up in the Book of Boba Fett, it looks leaps and bounds better. And that was 2021. We're in 2025 now, chat. Let's think about how great the deepfake technology is now. Yeah. It must be insane. Alex with a very generous $2 holla. I appreciate that, Alex. Says the cavalry has arrived. What's up, guys? How we doing, Alex? You guys feeling extra generous with the super chats today? I appreciate it. Okay. Go watch Indiana Jones, Mike? Maybe. Maybe someday. It was better than Indiana Jones 4. Okay. Let's not that high bar. Yeah. Well, I feel like the technology now with deepfake and now even AI would make it not easy, but a lot easier to do. Did Palpatine die trying to clone his body? He looks kind of cranky. Well, he was trying to clone his body for a long time. That's what you're asking. I want deepfake Leia and Han and Luke together. Something we never got to see in the sequels. Well, that's the sort of the question. Luke Skywalker is deepfaked right now. He has been for the last 5 years. If Han Solo is deepfaked, well, then they're probably going to do the same for Leia. Now, the problem with that becomes Harrison's still alive, Mark is still alive, and Carrie is not. So there's probably a lot more that they have to do to get sort of permission from the family and all this other stuff to do right by the character and, of course, bring her back to life. So we'll see. This is coming from a guy who doesn't know Darkwing Duck. Okay, I gotta look up Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. Okay, I've seen this. I haven't seen it before. It's 3 seasons of a 1991 cartoon. I've seen images of this before, of this character, but no, I can certainly tell you I've not seen this show. But I bet it's great. I bet it's fan-frickin-tastic. Yeah. The deepfake Tarkin was far better than the deepfake Leia, but that is from my view anyhow. Well, that's, again, Rogue One, which was a decade ago. That was 9 years ago. So the deepfake technology from 9 years ago to now has come a long way. But I agree with you. The Tarkin in that is actually really good. Leia is good in that. It's sufficient. I wonder, because George Lucas always went back and changed the movies. He did, when the technology got better, he fixed or changed certain aspects of the original trilogy. I wonder if Disney will do the same. If over time, when the deepfake technology gets better, will they go back and fix, or not really fix, but, make better the deepfake of Leia and Tarkin and Luke in the projects that they appear in? I don't know. Could be interesting. But, wow, holy crap. This poll is exactly at 50-50. With, how many votes are on it? With almost 40 votes, we are 50-50, right down the middle. Okay. Deepfake or Alden Ehrenreich, chat? What do we think? I hope they fix the Mandalorian Season 2, Luke, because it looks so bad. Well, that's the thing. At the time, it looked fantastic. And now it's starting to look worse because we have better. In the Book of Boba Fett, he looks so much better. It's the same thing with the original trilogy. If you watch the original cut of the original trilogy, because it looks so much different now in 4K on Disney and all that stuff, you'd be like, okay, that looks weird, or it looks off, or it doesn't look good. But at the time, it looked fantastic. It was cutting edge. And so was Luke in The Mandalorian Season 2. You know? It's a matter of money. How much is it to do the CGI? Well, that's the thing. It probably costs a lot to do the deepfake technology, but it also probably costs a lot to have Alden Ehrenreich. Like, Alden is not just a nobody actor anymore. Maybe he was when he got the role of Solo, but now he's been in Oppenheimer. I just saw he did either a show or a movie very recently. Saw a trailer for it somewhere. But he's not a nobody actor anymore. So you're going to have to pay him too. Either way. You're paying somebody. It's more a question of how much and who. Yeah. I'm not convinced that the Filoni and Simon Kinberg movies are the exact same Mandoverse movies. No. Kinberg's getting a trilogy. And, well, we already have the first 2 movies of the Mandoverse announced. So I don't think so. However, I will give you that Simon Kinberg has worked on Star Wars before. He co-wrote and co-created Star Wars Rebels, the greatest show of all time, in my personal opinion. But he co-wrote that with Dave Filoni. So the fact is, Dave Filoni is now this chief creative officer. He oversees all these projects that are being made. And Simon Kinberg is a good old pal. So now the good old pal is going to make the trilogy as Dave Filoni oversees it. It's much like George Lucas overseeing Episode 5 and Episode 6, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, during the time of the original trilogy. He didn't direct those movies, but he obviously kind of did. Yeah. Mike, do you think Episode 3 is a good movie to take someone out on a date to? I mean, I don't know. Ask Samantha. She's still in the chat. But yes, absolutely. The greatest movie of all time. Yes, of course it is. But if she ever like looks at you and is not paying attention to the movie, you're like, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? Do you understand what's on that screen right now, woman? Or man? I don't know. You go, you want a second date? Are you kidding me? You're not even paying attention to the greatest movie of all time? You looked at your phone? You pulled out your phone? Are you kidding me? And they're like, there's an emergency. Emergency! There's an emergency on the screen, and it's called Revenge of the Sith. God! That's what I would do. So Samantha, if you're still watching, don't pull out your phone during Revenge of the Sith. Okay. Would Disney ever cash in on re-releasing the original movies without the updates? Never going to see the light of day again. Well, they are re-releasing the original movies, but without the original updates, you mean? I don't know. I don't know. As George Lucas says, those updated ones are the way he wanted the movie to look. So it's just a matter of he didn't have the technology there, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I'm sending this because my friend Samuel is trying to get I'm trying to get him to take a date to the Revenge of the Sith. Okay, well, tell him my advice. Tell him if she ever looks away from the screen to yell and scream in her face and say, this is over. This is over. God. Yeah. Do you ever think they'll release Andor a few days early? Remember when they did that with Kenobi at Star Wars Celebration in 2022 and Skeleton Crew? They didn't release Skeleton Crew early. But yes, I do remember they did that with Kenobi. They released Kenobi slightly earlier than like 6 hours earlier or something strange like that. And that was sort of a issue, actually, for a lot of content creators who were trying to do live watch parties and stuff like that. They either were asleep or they weren't prepared and they couldn't do it. So I don't know if they'll do that because you're talking about a Sunday versus a Tuesday. That's not like a couple hours different. That's a couple days different. And they're really, really promoting this April 22nd. April 22nd is everywhere. So I think probably not. Yeah, probably not. Did you guys hear that? Somebody upstairs just dropped something giant on the floor. So loud. The microphone might not have picked it up. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at the next couple weeks for Star Wars content, we're going to get some insane stuff. And it started last week. Andor trailers for the last 2 weeks, I guess. Then Tales of the Underworld. Now it's these 7 projects, one about Vader, two about the Acolyte, all that stuff. And now it's Star Wars Celebration next weekend. Andor Season 2, 2 days later. Revenge of the Sith re-release 3 days after that. It's going to be the most insane April of our lives, chat. Insane. Yeah. Did a Wookiee fall over upstairs? It might have. It was loud enough to be that. Yeah. Yeah. What do we think about doing maybe some call-ins today, chat? What are we thinking? I'm kind of feeling in the call-ins mood. What do we think? Maybe do some call-ins, chat? Call it in? You know what's really strange to me? Look at these numbers. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, because you look at the trailer numbers, 6.9 million. This one from the other day, 3.2 million, 1.3 million. And this is only 100,000. And this is only 60,000. They're only 30-second trailers, so they're like quick, whatever. But still, that's sort of... What's up with that, chat? What's up with that, chat? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Once Andor starts, the Tuesday live streams will turn back into Monday live streams. So we'll have Monday live streams, Thursday live streams, and Saturday live streams. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's watch this again.
I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the SAR-2 unit.
Rebellions are built on hope.
You want to fight? Or you want to win?
We have to beat them. I believe you have purpose in making that happen.
If we do not stand together, we will be crushed.
Wait, what?
The Empire cannot win.
Wait, what? Chad, we should have watched this trailer the whole time. I didn't know this trailer was on YouTube. They also dropped this one on YouTube? Because look at this.
We will be.
The one we watched earlier was only so small. It was only a portion of the screen, so we only saw Cassian's head like this. Then when you zoom out, you see K2's head too. What? This is awesome. I mean, I can't wait for K2SO, but this is really the first time we've actually seen anything like this. This is awesome. Okay, let's watch this in full scope now.
I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the SAR-2 unit.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah, they are.
You want to fight? Or you want to win?
Who's he talking to there?
Or you want to...
Oh, it looks like he's on the farm planet talking to Pac, son. Look at these stormtroopers just getting messed up. Holy visual effects. This is crazy. That's awesome. Okay.
You want to win?
We have to beat them. I believe you have.
Still the greatest scene so far, with the ship from Kenobi that Vader pulls out of the sky, being escorted by 2 X-Wings on Yavin freaking 4. I mean, it's cool, okay? We've seen Yavin 4 in Star Wars. We saw it in the original trilogy. We see it in Andor Rogue One. But we don't really ever explore Yavin 4. You don't explore Yavin 4. It even rhymes. But we don't get much of Yavin 4. Because it obviously is no longer the Rebel base after A New Hope. But it's very strange. Yeah.
You have purpose in making that happen.
And obviously they put these things in trailers for a reason.
We have to beat them. I believe you have.
Lucasfilm's not dumb. They know that fans recognize this ship and recognize it as the ship that Vader takes down in Kenobi. So they did this for a reason. And that reason is this is important. And it's important to what the show's going to be about.
You have purpose in making that happen.
We get a glimpse at whatever planet he might be on the left. Maybe not. Oh, maybe he's on Yavin? Nah, maybe not.
Making that happen.
If we do not stand together,
So he's definitely at the wedding. That's definitely an X-Wing behind him, and it's one of Saw Gerrera's X-Wings. But he is most definitely at this wedding, and that's pretty wild. Luthen being at the wedding is far more important than most people are going to think about. Because if he's there and Krennic's there, it's going to be quite the wedding. And we get front row seats to it. Yeah. Are they doing an early release to some YouTubers like they did with other shows? They usually do, yeah. I'm not on that list, but yeah, they usually do. Sadly. Lucasfilm, if you're watching, we know that you are. Please. I'd like to be on the list. I want to see the show. But yeah, this will be pretty cool.
together, we will be crushed.
And K2SO. This is the first time we see the two of them side by side in any of the trailers. Look at the stars behind them as he goes into hyperspace. Like, attention to detail here. The stars start to expand as they go. So cool. But K2SO right next to Cassian in the cockpit of some ship. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Will be crushed.
The Empire.
Hang on, I want to slow this scene down. So this is the cliff planet. This is water here. It's cliffs all around. It's two. Oh, they're being shot from behind. Two TIE. This one's getting shot from behind on the left. Two TIE fighters getting shot at. And then
I cannot
the Empire cannot win. The Death Star
Andor, the
and Krennic.
final season, streaming April 22nd.
Andor, the final season. Not season 2, the final season. Yeah. Okay. That trailer's awesome. It should be getting more love, but it's not. Should be getting more love, but it's not. This is my new saying, by the way. I even commented it on the video. An Andor trailer a day keeps the haters away. It's a fact, though. What's funny is I'm very interested to see if the hate that was brought to Andor Season 1 is brought to Andor Season 2. Because I don't think it will be. And it'll be interesting. Because we're coming off the backs of Skeleton Crew, which is one of the most united projects the Star Wars fandom has ever had. Now, granted, it wasn't watched by a lot of people. It never even made the Nielsen charts. But for the most part, and maybe that's because I guess the haters didn't see it as enough points or views or whatever, so they didn't even bother making hate about it. But the majority of people loved that show that watched it. Skeleton Crew is a freaking great show. So we're coming off the backs of one of the best, most beloved Star Wars shows to date. So if Andor Season 2 has a similar reaction where most fans, or if not all fans, love it, that's 2 in a row. And we're on a roll. Then the next project would be Ahsoka Season 2, right? Who knows? Well, it'll be Tales of the Underworld, I guess. But yeah, live action wise. 12 more days. 12 more days. Yeah. Certainly people are trying to bring back the hate, but with certain rumors. What? I catch a Neil hater on the streets, I'm going to throw hands. Alex with the comment of the day.
This is where the fun begins.
That is so good. That is so good. How could you not love it? It looks amazing. Well, again, people didn't love the first season. And bore, not enough aliens, all that stuff. You know, it's not really out of the realm of possibility for people to not hate this show. People found anything and anything to complain about for any other Star Wars show. It's really not impossible. You can really reach. You can reach to just make up lies to hate on a show if you want. Pretty much what happened with the Acolyte. Yeah. You can try. You can really try. Lord Vader. Yeah. Luthen is a great character. Luthen's going to die, though. That's the big thing. Okay, by the way, this poll has sort of gone one way. It was 50-50 for a while, but now it's gone the way of Alden Ehrenreich. So you guys really say, if Han Solo comes back post-original trilogy in the Mandoverse, that it should be Alden? Interesting. I would disagree. I'd pick deepfake. I want all 3 of them. Luke, Leia, Han. All deepfaked, all on the same screen at the same time. And to me, it'll still feel like the characters because it is the characters. But you're bringing back Harrison. You're bringing back Mark. Obviously, you can't bring back Carrie, sadly. But that's just what you have to make do with it, you know? You make do with what you've been given. But 56% of you say Alden and 43% of the math is not mathing. Say deepfake. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we'll see. We shall see. All right, but I do appreciate you guys all for coming to this live stream, even after we had the debacle at the beginning where I disappeared. I don't even know what else to say. I disappeared, and you guys came back, so I appreciate you all so much more than you will ever know. You guys are awesome. Huge shout-outs to Darth Plagueis Lives, Darth Drafter, Ron. Wait, what? Ron, Holly, David, Alex for the very generous super chats. I appreciate it so much more than you will ever know. This was awesome. This is one of my favorite live streams in a long time, actually. Even after all the chaos at the beginning, it was still awesome. So, yeah. Watch out for a video coming up very soon. And let me just tell you, You don't want to miss it. One of the coolest scenes ever from Star Wars Rebels is being brought to life. And I'll leave it at that. Yeah. We're leaving it at that. Okay? Okay. All right. But with that cliffhanger, I'll leave you with that one. Watch out for a short in about an hour from right now. And yeah, we'll go from there. I appreciate you all. Smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not already. How many likes do we have, chat? Am I going to be upset? Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I mean, I prefer a couple more likes, but that's beggars can't be choosers. But I appreciate it. And don't forget, if you take a girlfriend or a boyfriend to a date to Revenge of the Sith, don't forget to make sure they watch the entire thing. And if they don't, just yell at them endlessly. You're welcome. So, with that being said, smash a freaking like in the stream, and may the force be with you. Always. Oh, yeah. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate all the hearts. I really, really do. Can we all just like spam the hearts for a second? See how many hearts we can get in just like 20 seconds? Can we do that, Chad? But I appreciate it. I really, really do. Watch out for a live stream on Saturday, of course, as per usual. Watch out for a short in about an hour. And yeah, we'll go on from there. I appreciate you all so much more than you will ever know. The Star Wars Geek, you missed the live stream. I know. Well, you can watch it on the playback. I apologize. Just be on time next time. God. No, you're good. Just kidding. I appreciate all the hearts, though. I really, really do. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody.